Good evening, everybody. Hope you've had a good day. We are so close to the weekend. That always makes me very happy. I'm sure it does you too, right? We all love the weekend. Just 1 second here. I am checking one thing real quickly. And yeah, there we go. We're good. So, yeah, we got a few things to open tonight. Not too many products, but yet it'll take us a little while to get through it. We're going to open, what are we opening? I've got it sitting here beside me. A case of Elements football, a case of Clearly Authentic baseball, and a case of Chrome baseball. So yeah, it's going to keep us busy for a few minutes. I'm going to change this just ever so slightly. I think I hit it again. You guys know how I am. I seem to run into this tripod about every 5.5 seconds approximately. So before we get started tonight, there is a little bit of information that we need to go over, and we're going to start with what you see on the screen right there, which is a note about my feedback. That's just to let you know that I automated my feedback on eBay several years ago, and that's so that you guys don't ever have to wait to get feedback in return. So as soon as you leave positive feedback for me, you should instantly get it in return. And the second part, of course, is just a little message to say thank you, because I really do appreciate everybody who comes by, watches the break, chats with me during the break. Those of you, of course, who bid and buy into the break, everybody, I appreciate you participating in whatever way that you do. What we're looking at right now, these are breaks that are coming up that are already listed on eBay that are up and available for bidding right now. So TriStar Game Day Greats football jersey, Leaf Flash football, guys, I still have no tracking on. I'm going to have to go with the assumption that's probably not going to be here Friday. We are going to leave the auction up and running like it is. We're going to go ahead and sell it because it's kind of, it's there. It's kind of too late to do too much about that. And as soon as I know what date it's going to be, I'll send you an email. We'll just reschedule it because I don't think we're going to have much choice there. At the beginning of the week, they said it would be Friday, and yet here it is Thursday, and I have no tracking. We'll also open a case of certified football on Friday night. Saturday, we're going to do another half case of our Leaf autograph football jerseys. You know the deal on Flash because I just talked about that. A full case of Noir basketball and another third case of Donruss football. Sunday, we're going to start early. Note, we're going to start at 9:30 instead of 10. We'll break Elements again, a case of Archive Signature Series Active Player Edition, and a half case of Allen and Ginter. On Monday, I've got more Immaculate Baseball. It's going to be here tomorrow, so we're going to break it on Monday, along with a half case of Gold Standard, which is the last of our Gold Standard. The certified that we break on Monday night will be the last of the certified. On Tuesday, we're going to break a New Era autographed baseball hat, Gold Rush baseball jersey, another case of Clearly Authentic, another half case of Leaf jerseys, and another third case of Donruss football. And by the way, you know what, guys? I forgot. I had some Clearly Authentic coming by way of the hobby shop. I had ordered some through them, too. So we have a few more cases of that than I thought we were going to have. So that's good news. What you see on the screen right now, couple of things there to note. The first one is shipping. I'm anticipating Tuesday for all of this to get out the door. Elements, Clearly Authentic, and Chrome. I know that's a little bit later than what I would normally have it going out, but of course Sunday factors into there, short post office on Saturday factors into there, and the fact that this Donruss break from last night's a monster that has to be sorted and go out as well. So if I can get it out to you quicker than Tuesday, I will, but right now that's what I'm projecting, Tuesday. And of course, in our first two breaks of the night, Elements and Clearly Authentic, it is possible that you could pull nothing in that break. And if that happens and your team isn't pulled at all, then you are still going to get a consolation card or cards, and they're going to ship out with the rest of the break since it's a paid break. So that's how that's going to work tonight. And of course, Chrome Baseball, every team's got to pull something in there. So starting out tonight with 12 boxes of 2018 Elements football. It is a full case break. This is break number 5. Can you believe that? We're already into case 5 of Elements. And of course, everything that we're opening tonight ended tonight, August the 9th. And we're live streaming it, breaking it, same night it ended. Team names are there on the left-hand side, and across from it is the eBay user ID of our winning bidder across from each team. And of course, if you're not in this particular break for elements, there'll be a spreadsheet that will go up before the start of each and every break. So if you're not in this one, you're going to get a chance to see your name up there when we get to your product. One last piece of business here before we start ripping, and that is just simply I am removing autofocus. I don't like it. It makes me crazy. And yeah, so when I reset the focus, it does make the background go out of focus a tad, but not to worry. We should still be able to see everything with no problem. I see Greg is in chat. Hi, Greg. And T. Cassidy is here. Let's Nerd Out is here just to watch. Hey, excellent. I'm glad to have you stop by again. Let's Nerd Out. I'm always happy to have you guys stop by, and gals, whether you're in the break or not. Always happy to have the company in chat and such. And Daryl is here. This is Daryl's first break with us. Well, welcome, Daryl. We're kind of, we have a lot of regulars around here, and we chat back and forth a lot and have a lot of fun and usually pull some good cards too. So we are glad to have you join us tonight. What teams do you have, Daryl? Tell us where you need your mojo working. We'll see if we can't conjure some good hits up for you, maybe, if we get lucky, right? Oh, Greg, you used Auction Sniper tonight? Woohoo! Did you like it? Wasn't it fun? It's so awesome. I love it. The part to me, okay, well, A, it's very useful. You guys know I like it for bid management purposes and all that sort of stuff. But the part that I love, that I think is so much fun, is just doing the refresh on the page when you're down to that last 10 or 12 seconds or whatever, and then watching right there at 5 seconds to go or 4 seconds to go, boom, bid changes and it's you. Well, you hope it's you. But anyway, that's the part I like about it. But James, you are feeling like we're going to have some twins and clearly authentic. Well, I hope so. That would be good. We found a lot of twins for you in Immaculate, the best I recall. And Immaculate went out the door today. So that's headed out to you already. You should have it before too long. Ben Rudd's here too. Yeah, James, I know exactly what you mean about, you know, James is talking about when I said earlier that I don't like autofocus, right? So I always take it off and I manually set the focus. And you guys heard me say that a minute ago, because when I don't say it, people get like crazy and they think they don't get crazy, but sometimes people think something is wrong, that they've got, you know, there's an issue with the broadcast. So that's why I always let them know, hey, the background goes out of focus, but when we look at the cards, they'll be cool. Anyway, point being, James says he absolutely hates it when somebody takes a card and, you know, they keep, you've seen people do this, and they move the card in and out and in and out, and they're trying to get the autofocus on the camera to refocus there on the card up close, because normally it's focused, you know, more back, way back into there, and you can't see it up closely. So yes, I agree with you. I despise that. So that is why I don't use it. I don't know why anybody would, frankly. I mean, why do any of them use autofocus? I don't really get that, but anyway. Jonathan, it is your first break too with us tonight. Awesome. And you have the Bears. Chicago Bears needing some love here in elements for Jonathan. And Daryl has the Nationals and Clearly Authentic. You know, I think the Nationals have a pretty good checklist in Clearly Authentic, the best I recall. Benrud says, you think you've bid up my auctions because you go after too many teams. Well, you know what? If that's the case, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But we just, I like for you to get some hits to make it all worth your while, right? That's our goal anyway. Let's Nerd Out. You are right, they sunk again. What Let's Nerd Out is talking about is in elements, the last case and this case, the packs, when you go to take them out of the box, you saw there's a little support thing that should be in there, and they're heavy, these cards, because they're metal, most of them, and they kind of crushed their little support and were free floating down in the bottom of the box. And the first time that happened was the last case. And when I first opened one of those boxes, I'm like, oh my gosh, where's our pack? Our pack is gone. But no, in fact, it was not gone. That's just what happened. So, all right, so let's take a look at what we've got. I don't think I went over this, so let's do that real quickly. There is a metal base card at the top of every pack. That's what we're looking at right now. It is numbered to 24, or numbered 24 of 25, Jerry Rice and the 49ers. Then coming out after that in each pack, we will have a framed relic. This one is for the Green Bay Packers, and it's numbered to 50. Looks like it was probably part of maybe a number or something similar to that. The frames on this, guys, sometimes can be a little glitchy. What is going on with my sleeves? Okay, they're like all the wrong ones. So let's just get a different pack and try that again, because those somehow I've gotten my regular sleeves mixed in with my thick ones. So hold for a moment, please. So on the frames, yes, you can have some weird little things occasionally, little dings or dents or finished chipping or something. Most of them have looked pretty good coming out of this product this year, but occasionally, you know, one can go kind of off the rails. You'll note there's some chipping right there on that bottom left. The third card that comes out of each box is going to look pretty much like this most of the time. It is numbered to 350. It is hard signed on entrapped metal. It is possible that we can also pull that hard signed on entrapped acetate, and that tends to show up when we get our neon signature case hit, provided that it shows up in the case, because the last case we didn't have one, but all the other cases we did. And then the final card in each box is this, a nice metal card with an autograph on it, and that is a nice hit for the Denver Broncos and Bradley Chubb. So that's what each of our packs are going to look like. Seahawks to 75, Russell Wilson is our base card. Our framed relic is for the Bears. Somebody was looking for some love for the Bears, I believe. Jay Cutler and Mitch Trubisky, numbered to 75 with a dual framed relic. My Pittsburgh Steelers, baby, Jalen Samuels. And it's a 1 of 1. Oh, snap. You know I love that. And by the way, what is this, our third, maybe, or fourth night in a row, I think, where we've gotten a 1 of 1. But A, you know that I think Jalen Samuels is going to be our sneaky good rookie this year. B, it's a 1 of 1. So I love that hit for the Steelers. And then we have Nick Chubb coming out. So both the Chubbs coming out tonight. This one, of course, going to the Browns. And now all of a sudden my sleeves switch back to the thick ones. So apparently I'm having some kind of sleeve issues this evening. What in the world? Who knows? Oh, Reed T, I didn't see you a minute ago. You said this is your first break here tonight too, and you're looking for the Vikings to hit. Benrod has the Packers and the Jets. And Let's Nerd Out says, whoever has the Titans, he hopes they have better luck than he had. That doesn't sound good. That's ominous. Numbered to 25, it's Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions for our base card. We have a little Saquon Barkley showing up. He is numbered to 99 on a framed relic. And we pulled a really nice autographed Saquon Barkley jersey last night in our half-case break-a-leaf jerseys, which was, let's face it, pretty cool. Jonathan, that was you. Okay, all right, excellent then. We're getting people taken care of here. We're trying to get the mojo working. This is Jamon Moore, he of the terrible signature, numbered to 350 for the Green Bay Packers. Our metal card here, oh, there's a throwback, Jim Zorn to 199 for the Seahawks. So that's a definite kind of blast from the past. Well, we're just going to use the thick sleeve for right now, because now they're all mixed up. I don't know what I've done. Something strange going on over here. Benrod, you said you were working on getting the Angels in Clearly Authentic, but you gave up when it hit about 120. I don't know what that ended up at tonight, but obviously I guess higher than 120 it sounds like. And Dennis, you were working on the Chiefs tonight, you said. So did you end up with the Chiefs tonight? because I'm not sure the way you've got it typed. I don't know if you hit it or if you didn't hit it. Numbered to 75, Joe Flacco for the Ravens. Probably unemployed after this year, at least not employed by the Ravens, I don't imagine. Numbered to 75, Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald. Framed relic is for the Ravens with Jaleel Scott to 125. And I tell you what, if you're a Ravens fan, you ought to be really looking forward to getting out from under that terrible contract that they gave Joe Flacco after he won the Super Bowl. Because you all, when you get rid of that contract and you have some more flexibility, life's going to be better for you if you're a Ravens fan. To 125, it is Ito Smith and the Falcons. Then we have Traquan Smith coming out for the Saints. That is numbered to 350 on our Entrapped Metal. Jonathan, you are looking for Anthony Miller because you see him in that other pack. You got good eyes, my friend. Here he is. There is your nice Anthony Miller coming out to 350 for your Chicago Bears. Hey, Greg, are you watching, Greg, the preseason game, or did you watch the Eagles and the Steelers? I couldn't get it. I didn't think I was going to be able to, and I couldn't. So it wasn't in my market, and I'm kind of just wondering how everybody looked. If anybody watched it, by the way. But just Greg, I know, was talking about it with me in email earlier today, so I thought he might have. Doris Fountain and the Colts, our metal signature there. And here comes Ed McCaffrey. Wow. Ed McCaffrey to 30 for the Broncos on a metal card. How about that one? Ooh, I saw a little gold flash by, so you know that's going to be numbered to at least 50, maybe lower. Julio Jones to 75 for the Falcons. Kiki is our radioactive rookie framed relic to 125 and the Texans. Traquan Smith is coming out again for the Saints. That's unusual. That is numbered to 350. Traquan as a whole hasn't been coming out a tremendous amount, especially not twice per case. And speaking of duplicates, how about another Nick Chubb? But this one is numbered to 50 for the Browns. So you've got a little variation there in that one's a pretty gold one. James is asking if they do Elements Baseball. You know what? I don't know if they're going to. I kind of doubt it because, well, Elements is a new product line this year. This is the first we've seen of it, is this. But they don't make as many, Panini doesn't, as many baseball products as they do football and basketball. That's numbered to 10. It's J.J. Watt and the Texans. But that having been said, where we might find it, James, they make a product called Chronicles. Last year was the first year for it. This is Mark Walton, radioactive rookie framed relic to 125 for the Bengals. And basically what Chronicles is, it takes cards from all the products they don't produce anymore or don't make for a particular sport, and it puts them into one product. This is numbered to 125. It is DJ Moore and the Carolina Panthers. And then we have Geno Atkins coming out for the Bengals. Geno is numbered to 199. So Chronicles was fun last year, right? And they had it in basketball and baseball. But this year they're making it much better. They're putting in, they're doing less of the Chronicles base cards themselves because frankly they were kind of ugly. And they're adding in a lot of other stuff. So it's entirely possible that they would have an Elements card as part of Chronicles Baseball. But I don't believe it's going to be a freestanding product. At least if it is, it hasn't been anything I've seen announced. So, Cameron said his youngest son committed to the Huskers a few weeks ago. Hey, congratulations. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, Dennis, you got sniped today. Okay. The Chiefs, you got sniped on the Kansas City Chiefs. I did see a redemption a second ago, so it's possible it's a Chief, because they certainly have been coming out of here by way of redemptions a lot out of this product. To 75, it's David Johnson for the Cardinals. And then we have to 75 for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. For the Tennessee Titans to 75, it's Marcus Mariota. A little throwback here, and that is Troy Aikman to 25 for the Cowboys. And our case hit metal moments is for my Pittsburgh Steelers. It is numbered to 50. And who's on there? I can't even tell. Antonio Brown. I should have known that. I should have known by looking at the picture that that was Antonio Brown. Definitely. I should have recognized that. Our framed relics, Naheem Hines and the Colts. That's to 125. Nick Chubb, who is just really populating the Browns tonight. That is numbered to 50. And it's one of the nicer looking framed patches that we pulled. 2 colors and all. Rashad Penny. Seahawks aren't going home empty-handed. That is to 125. A framed relic for DJ Chark and the Jags to 125. And then way off up here, oh, I see something nice too. This is Kyle Lauletta for the Giants, and it's numbered to 99. I don't know how much you all might be able to see it. I don't know. But there's a really nice one that's going to be coming up here shortly. Ronald Jones for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it is numbered to 350. I know, you hate it when I leave them to last, don't you? Like I'm teasing you because I'm telling you there's something good coming, but you see that I'm making you wait. It's terrible. I know it is. Mike Williams and the Chargers, and there's a nice neon hit. It is numbered to 55. Typically, these have been coming out about once a case. We have had cases where we've had 2, and our last case we had none. But normally, they're about 1 per case. That, of course, is hard signed, but on acetate. So that is entrapped acetate versus entrapped metal. Here comes Kiki for the Texans, and it is numbered to 100. I'm sorry, it is numbered to 350, because apparently I can't read my numbers. And then Mason Rudolph for my Pittsburgh Steelers. Ooh, and it's numbered to 25. Steelers, I have to tell you, you got the 1/1 Jalen Samuels, which, by the way, I am super jealous of. And now you have a nice Mason Rudolph to 25. So if you've got the Steelers tonight, you're having yourself a fine break. The Ravens hit with Hayden Hurst, who by all accounts is supposed to be pretty good. Then we have Mark Walton coming out for the Bengals. You know, I always admire the fact that he uses all the available space, so that's always a good thing. Marquez Valdez-Scantling to 199 for the Packers. It is rare that we would have a case without 1 or 2 of him in here. He shows up quite often. Now we have up here, look at it. There it's coming. This is the one I saw. Oh, how about that? Yeah, baby. Peyton Manning to 5, my friends. Peyton Manning to 5 for the Colts. See, I told you there was a nice one coming. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be numbered to, but I knew it was going to be low, and I knew it was Peyton. This is an excellent case so far, just by the way. Here is Kiki again for the Texans. He's in here in abundance this evening. What did you just say there? Moore just dropped a 60-yard touchdown bomb. Uh-oh. Whoops. Well, that's problematic, isn't it? Oh, and Dennis, you said you need some Travis Kelce. You have doubles of most redemptions. You put them in today and yesterday and chose 4 months, and you wonder what will come back. Eventually, all of it. It just might take you a really long time. And it is Kareem Hunt, so it is indeed a Kansas City Chief. Most of the redemptions in here have been Kansas City Chiefs. But you also know that I'm going to go to the checklist and we're going to verify it because that's just how I am. You guys know this about me. You know I'm a stickler for that sort of thing. So let's roll on over here and figure this out. It was a card set of steel signatures. See, notice how I was already set tonight, right? I already had it set up for elements because we've been finding so many redemptions in here. I figured I might as well have it set up. This is card number 94. We have to go way down the list, and Kareem is going to be numbered to 199. 199 on the Kareem Hunt redemption. All right, let's recap elements. Of course, we're not going to recap the base metal cards, just our hits. So we have the redemption for the Chiefs to 199. And the rest of these guys, as we go back through them, I'm not really going to read off all the numbers again unless, it's one of our really low numbered ones, I will. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of take a pass through so that anybody who maybe missed it earlier, you jumped in late, you just want to look again, whatever the case may be. We're going to flip back through them one final time. Also keep in mind, please, that any of the ones in here that are not metal, that are actually the cards that have our entrapped metal and acetate signatures, those quite often have varying degrees of chipping and edge imperfections and things. They're just coming out of the packs that way. So usually it's nothing super, super bad. Probably the worst one I pointed out already when we saw it live, but the first time. But just be aware that they tend to come out less than perfect. All right, so there is the handsome Peyton Manning numbered to 5. That is a sweet, sweet hit for the Colts. And then a nice Mason Rudolph to 25 for my Steelers, which is, pretty awesome too. Oh, Benrod, you lost on the Colts in the final seconds. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That is no fun. Especially when it then turns out to be Peyton Manning, right? Because that kind of, that would make me sad too. Mike Williams, that is numbered to 55 neon signatures for the Chargers. And then we have, what is it? What do we have here? That is, who is that? Ronald Jones. I lost my track there for a minute. Because you know what I started thinking about? I started thinking about, oh man, where is that Jalen Samuels? Is it metal or is it in here? That's what happened. Yeah. I admit it. I wanted to look at the Jalen Samuels again. I'll tell you up front. So 1 of 1, Pittsburgh Steelers, Jalen Samuels, who I think is our sleeper rookie this year. I might be wrong. I've definitely been wrong before. But I've also been right before, like I was last year about Juju Smith-Schuster. So anyway, I like that hit. If you have the Steelers, I think you did quite well between the Rudolph and the Jalen Samuels. And that one, what was that numbered to? 25? No, 60? 50. 50. Good grief. Oh, yeah. All right. I need to stop thinking about the 1 of 1 Jalen Samuels. Get my head back in the game, don't I? I know I do. I know I do. Okay, so that has this all wrapped up with elements. So you know what's on deck now. It is Clearly Authentic Baseball, which is also lots of fun to open. And that just came out last night too. Or yesterday, rather. Let me get our spreadsheet set up for that. Okay, if you did not see this earlier, I am projecting everything that we open tonight to ship on Tuesday. If I can get it out to you sooner than Tuesday, for sure I will. But for now, I'm going to project Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be able to get it sooner. But if not, at least I think that's a realistic projection. And consolation cards, once again, elements and Clearly Authentic. If your team was not pulled, you didn't get a single thing in your break, you are still going to be shipped consolation card or cards, and they will go out with the rest of the break. So that will ship alongside everything else if you should happen to be unfortunate and not pull anything. We hope it doesn't happen to you, but it is possible. 20 boxes of 2018 Clearly Authentic Baseball. This is a full case break. It is break number 2. like everything else we're opening tonight, it ended tonight, Thursday night the 9th. And of course, we have team names there on the left. Winning bidders are across from it on the right-hand side. We have one team in Clearly Authentic that Topps just didn't give us any hits for. How stupid. And that is the Tampa Bay Rays. So those Tampa Bay Rays not listed. And of course, when I listed case number 3 tonight, you know what I did? I listed the Tampa Bay Rays. And then I realized it about 30 minutes later. And I went in and ended it. I tell you, habits, they die hard. There's a reason they have that saying, isn't there? Oh, Gina, I see you're in chat. Hey, are you proud of me? I got the invoice right tonight without you you didn't have to remind me or anything. How proud are you? Yeah, guys, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, which may be many of you, Gina was kind enough to hook me up with a redemption for Mr. Bam Adebayo, who's a former UK player. He now plays with the Miami Heat. And, of course, I went to school at UK, so I love all my UK guys in any sport that they go pro in. And she had a spare Bam Adebayo redemption that she sent my way. So in return, I kept meaning to help her out with shipping costs and things on the invoice, and I kept forgetting to do it because, again, I get on autopilot. But tonight, I remembered. I was so proud of myself. So now I'm looking for you to give me a pat on the back. How awful is that? I know. The small things make me happy. What can I tell you? Oh, your Kareem 10 of 10 came today, Dennis. Excellent. I can't seem to get these out of the box. As you saw there, I had a little problem with that. James, you are predicting 2 Twins hits in Clearly Authentic. And yeah, Dennis, I have no idea. They don't, why they call it. Dennis is saying, hey, steel is not even an element. So, hello, Panini. Yes, valid point. Who knows why they do what they do. But I do like the card set. I think it's pretty cool card set. Gina, you wanna buy the Rays so you can have some consolation cards? Sure thing. It will be $750.89. How's that sound? Daryl, you would like to see a Bryce Harper in here? Me too. I would love to see a Bryce Harper in here. That would be pretty awesome. We've already had 2 redemptions. And you know what's good about that with Topps? It means we get an extra hit. So every one of these boxes that has a redemption in it, they are also, there's also just a blank piece of paper, they're also going to give us a second card. So the more redemptions we find, quite frankly, the better off we're going to be. Because it's going to give us more and more and more hits. Out of the first case, we had 3 of them, so we ended up pulling 23 hits as opposed to 20. Right now, we're on track to pull 22 hits. Carmen, you are asking if you have the Braves in this. Hang tight, and I will tell you, because I don't really remember. You guys know I'm bad about remembering that stuff. Yes, you do have the Braves here in Clearly Authentic, for sure. I just checked out the spreadsheet. They are all yours, Carmen. Penrod says there's going to be an Ohtani redemption in here tonight. He has the feeling, and he had a feeling about going after the Colts and then gave up on them or didn't get them, and it turned out that his feeling was right about the Colts. So now he's feeling like that there's an Ohtani in here. And I have to say, guys, sometimes those things pan out. It's not super often that I get those feelings, but sometimes I do. Like before a break, I'll be working on invoicing or filling out the spreadsheet or something, and I'll think, man, I feel like we're going to hit whatever tonight. And I'll kind of look and see on the spreadsheet who has whatever it is I think we're going to hit. And a lot of times I'll even say it before we start the break. I'll say, hey, I think we're about due for whatever, or I feel like we're going to hit whatever. And certainly I'm not right every time. You know, it's not like you can, it's not like those 1-800 psychic number kind of deals. I'm not claiming to Dionne Warwick you, okay? I'm just saying that sometimes when we get those feelings, they turn out to be right. I've certainly had it happen to me, and sounds like Benrod's having that happen to him tonight. Meanwhile, whoever has the angels is just going, yeah, I hope you are right. What did you said bolt up to LA Superchargers. What are you telling me about that, AJ? James, you think there are going to be lots of Dodgers? And It's Spicy says, no, it's going to be the A's, and the A's are going to kill it. Eric Bailey says there's going to be Jose Canseco autographs. Eric Bailey probably saw a Jose Canseco autograph go by, because you know what? He's got really good eyes, and he catches stuff like that when they're coming out of the box. So I'm going to trust Eric Bailey probably saw one go by. This is numbered to 99, and it is for the Marlins, Justin Bauer. The Cubbies are on board, and that is to 25 with Dylan Maples. Behind that, we have Fielding Award to 50. It's Byron Buxton. So somebody called. How many Twins did you say they were going to be in here tonight, James? 2 or 3? How many did you say? Well, there's Byron Buxton anyway. Rafael Devers coming out for the Red Sox. I believe we found him in the first case too, if I remember correctly. I think we did. You like the back of the cards better than the front? Well, all right. Here's Troy Scribner. And, I mean, the back is pretty cool, but why do you not like the front, man? The front's good. Here's one Jose Canseco to 99, and we already know that Eric has some eagle eyes or some very good intuition, and he called that one way ahead of time. Jose Canseco to 99 for the A's, and somebody else had already called that the A's were going to hit it big tonight. And there's your second Jose Canseco to 99. I actually saw those when they came out, so I knew we had at least one that I had seen. I didn't know if we were going to have 2 or not, but for the Cubbies, it is Kyle Schwarber, and that is numbered to 99. For the Blue Jays, we have Richard Urena to 99. Atlanta Braves hit Ozzy. Nice. Love seeing Ozzy come out for you, Braves. I know you want probably Acuna as well. It's always better to have a match set, I'm sure, but I'm kind of partial to Ozzy as well. So, Max Fried, Atlanta Braves taking home another one. And here comes another Fielding Award for the Twins and Byron Buxton. So it's kind of the same card, but there are 2 Twins. And whoever predicted that the A's were going to crush it might be on target. That is numbered to 99, and it's Matt Olson. The Jose Canseco a while ago, by the way, was a case hit. I don't think I said that because I was just busy thinking about the fact that you guys had called it coming out, but it was the case hit. Sandy Alcantara, that is for the Marlins. And then we have Jose Barrios coming out on a Mother's Day insert. So we're kind of rocking right on along, aren't we? The Twins are indeed breaking well tonight. Chris Taylor and the Dodgers. Oh, Dodgers. Alex Verdugo to 50. I like that. I saw the red, and for a minute I thought we might be to 5, which would have been exceptional. But instead you got Verdugo to 50, and I still think that's a nice hit. And how about we just follow that up, Dodgers, with a red Chris Taylor to 50. So Dodgers go from bust to boom, 3 cards in a row coming out for them. Austin Hayes comes out for the Baltimore Orioles. Remember, we do have 2 redemptions to flip over. And, oh, my good gracious. Oh, no, that's Keon Broxton. I was like, do we have... I thought we had Byron Buxton again. No, this is Keon Broxton for the Brewers. And it is on a Memorial Day insert. We have 2 redemptions to flip. We'll go to the Topps website for these as well. It's not going to tell us what they're numbered to. Topps doesn't roll that way. But we will verify the teams just so that everyone can see them and they will know. So Francisco Mejia, that will be Indians on the checklist, I presume, because he was traded well after these would have been produced. Chris Bryant, nice. And it's the red parallel as well, so it'll be to 50 for the Cubbies. So let's head right on over here to our Topps checklist. I'm going to bring you with me again. And let's see what we can figure out about this. So the first one was just clearly authentic autograph, which should be, well, one would think, just really close up near the top. So did I go past it? I guess I did. Was it the very first thing? Of course. Good grief. Whoops. Sorry. So there it is, Indians, all nice and verified. And then our red parallel, of course, for Chris Bryant. We know he's a Cub, but there you can see for sure he's a Cub. So Cubs and Indians as projected. Let's get them labeled up. We're going to recap clearly authentic for anybody who might have missed it earlier. And once again, if your team was not pulled in this break, whatever consolation card or cards you're due, they're going to head your way when the rest of the break ships, since this was a paid shipping break. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I got to catch up on chat for a second there. Oh, Cameron, I know, man. There were no Pudge and no Ryan, and the Rangers are tough in this one. Yeah, they are SPs in here. It's spicy. Oh, man, you didn't do well tonight. I am sorry to hear that. And Ben Rudd says it was good, but there was no Ohtani. So I know we didn't pull him tonight, but maybe soon. Francisco Mejia for the Indians. Chris Bryant and the Cubbies in the red parallel, which will be to 50. 5-0. And then we have Brewers, Orioles, Dodgers. Lots of Dodgers. Another Dodger. Cubby. The A's, that's a case hit. And another A, Jose Canseco ×2 in here. Scribner for the Angels. Devers is a nice hit for the Red Sox. And then we had Jose Barrios, Alcantara. There's Matt Olson. And there's one of what will be, I believe, 2 Byron Buxtons. And that's the first one of them. For the Atlanta Braves, we had Max Fried and the nice Ozzie Albies. So the Braves did quite well. Richard Urena for the Blue Jays. There's our other Byron Buxton. This one is numbered, though. It's to 50. I don't think the first one that we saw was. Maybe, but I don't think so. Dylan Maples for the Cubbies. And Justin Bauer for the Marlins. So that is this case of Clearly Authentic is in the books. We're breaking it again on like Monday or Tuesday night. So there's a few days in between before we break Clearly Authentic again. And we are going to have more than what I originally told you guys because I forgot that I had some ordered through the hobby store because he doesn't sell this product in his store. And so he just ordered some for me. So we are going to have a little bit of extra Clearly Authentic. Yay! All right, so we are now getting ready to roll into a full case of Topps Chrome. So if you need an intermission, now is a good time to go get a snack or some water or walk the dog or whatever, because we're going to settle in for a bit with Topps Chrome. And if you didn't see this earlier, one more time, guys, projecting it to ship out on Tuesday. And if I can get it out to you sooner than Tuesday, of course, I will happily and gladly do so. 12 boxes of 2018 Topps Chrome Baseball. It's a full case break. It is break number 4. This is the last of the chrome hobby that I have. So when we next break Topps Chrome, which will be probably about this time next week, actually, because I've got so much other stuff to get rolled in between. But when we next break Topps Chrome, it will be jumbo cases, which of course, more cards, more hits. You know the drill. You guys know how jumbo works with Topps. All right, I got to get all these out of here. So it's going to be a minute. Oh, Dune, you were asking what's next. This case of Topps Chrome is what we've got up right now. It's a full case of hobby version of Topps Chrome. And the next time we break Chrome, we'll be starting on the jumbo cases, because this is the last of the hobby cases that I have on hand. So, oh, James, I am always happy to pull multiple hits for you, my friend. I'm happy to pull multiple hits for everybody. I like everybody to get stuff. That's a lot more fun when you hit than when you don't. Believe me, I buy into people's breaks too. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of a big goose egg, and it is significantly less fun than when you hit stuff, for sure. And we have, oh, how do I say your username? Okay, I have to tell you this. Right now I'm just going to call you T, because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say Gaijin. Because let me tell you this, I am terrible about name pronunciation. Really, really bad with it. Really bad. Even the names that I hear all the time for some of our athletes, I still just butcher them. So when I see your username, I absolutely know that I just butchered it. And for right now, I'm just calling you T. And I am saying, you're saying this is your first break and you have the Angels. So welcome, T. And I hope that we have good luck for you in the Angels tonight. And if you would like to phonetically tell me how to say the first part of your username, I will do my best not to completely butcher it. Otherwise, I'll call you T. Oh, you said just call you G. Okay, good. I'm going to call you G then. Gina said, you bought the Padres because the only Padres you know are Tony Gwynn and Dave Winfield. That's hilarious. Oh, Dune, you asked me, can you tell me if you're the Giants? Okay, hang on, guys. I can't actually put the spreadsheet up again because I have product open now, and I don't like to do that. But what I can do is scroll down here and take a look for you. So hang on one second here. And let me find the San Francisco Giants. I have the San Francisco Giants as Restless Craft, which I believe you said is you, right, Dune? So I think that's correct, that you are on board here tonight with the Giants. Oh, James, now you want to have fun with me. You want me to pronounce your last name. Okay, I would say Redance. That's how I would pronounce your last name. I would say it is James Redance. And I'm sure that that's way wrong, and you can tell me how wrong it is, but that's what I would say. So I'm just telling you. And the Padres, Gina, by the way, have some nice younger guys that'll be coming up through for them along the way. So it's possible to get some good Padres hits in here. Dune, you just want the Posey Parallel. Oh, I got close. Okay, so it's Ray Dance. Ray Dance. So I just had maybe I said Dance, didn't I, instead of the A. I had like an instead of an A. So not too bad. I got at least in the ballpark on that one, which is more than I can say for many of them, as you guys well can attest. Gina says it's not your most well thought out purchase. You say that now, but if you hit something awesome, then you're going to think otherwise. Then you're going to be like, Man, I was smart to pick up the Padres tonight at such a good price, and look what I hit. So it is all relative. It is all relative. We all feel like a genius when we hit something at a good price, and then we all feel like, oh my gosh, what did I do when we don't hit something, no matter how much we spend. So I think that's universal to all of us who enjoy breaks. I think we can probably agree on that anyway. James, you're out tonight. All right, my friend. Well, thank you for joining in the break tonight, and I'm glad we had some good luck for you again with your twins. You know, that's part of the reason that I decided to get that other case of Immaculate when they had it. I was checking back to see if they were bringing it back from the National, because a lot of places they just didn't sell everything. So now they're willing to cough up a little more than they were before the National. And so when he said he had it, I was like, yeah, sure, send it on. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, James is going to want to try to hit some more twins in Immaculate, I bet. And I still want to hit the Ohtani in Immaculate. So I'm like, yeah, send it. That's how I make my purchase decisions. Does that make you feel better, Gina? I make my purchase decisions based on whether or not we have hit something that I think we should be able to hit in a product. Not always, but sometimes. And I do think we've hit Ohtani, but it's been like relics and things. We need a big booming Ohtani out of there. All right, guys, this has a lot of base in it, and we, generally speaking, are going to cut a path through this for those of you who are new. And if something is going faster or slower than you would like, jump into chat and let me know. So we're going to find a lot of these. They are refractors and, I believe, X-fractors. I'm not generally going to call out every refractor that we see as it goes by, unless someone just wants me to. That is primarily because there are a lot of them. And Clayton Kershaw tried to jump off my pile there. He did actually jump off my pile there, but it doesn't seem to have caused him any harm. Superstar Sensations, we're going to find loads of them as well. They all refract as an entire insert series, as do our future stars. They will also all be refractors. So that's kind of an overview. Freshman Flash, we'll find a number of them. Again, every one of them will refract. Colorado Rockies starting out nicely tonight with Nolan Arenado to 50 with a gold wave. Can't ever go wrong with a gold wave in Topps. And, of course, we are going to find 2 signatures per box. I don't know if I said that. Most of you probably are pretty familiar with the product at this point. And we'll find a bunch of these 35th anniversary. Like the other inserts, the entire insert series will refract. I kind of wish they would do those the opposite, to be honest, and have them not refract, and, you know, the rare one refract instead of having them all be refractors. I think kind of takes some of the fun away from it, you know. Fun's not the right word, but you know what I mean. It's not as special when the entire insert series refracts. That's my point. Our first hit out is for the Milwaukee Brewers with Jacob Barnes, and that is numbered to 499. So a little rookie refractor coming out first out in this box. And what else can I tell you about Topps Chrome? I mean, I'd say pretty much almost everybody is probably intimately familiar with Topps Chrome. This is numbered to 99. It's Greg Allen and the Indians with the green wave. It kind of just, to me, I like Topps Chrome because I like the Chrome product as a whole. But to me, it's always just kind of that halfway point between Bowman and Bowman Chrome. That's how I always think of Topps Chrome, is I'm halfway to Bowman Chrome. This is the Giants, and it is Chris Stratton. And those of you who break with me often, you know why that is. It's because I love Bowman. Bowman is my favorite part of the baseball card season. I always prefer the Bowman products because I like the prospecting. It's like playing the stock market and that sort of thing, and I like that factor. So I'm always super excited about the Bowman. There is Ohtani, 35th anniversary parallel for the Angels. So yeah, so that's how I view Topps Chrome. I'm halfway to Bowman Chrome time. But it is, of course, a nice product in and of itself. Ben Rudge, you missed your Brewers and Clearly Authentic, but you have them in Chrome. Well, then you're already off to a good start tonight because first hit out was yours. Dune, what did you ask me about the Stratton? You want to see that one again? Of course. I do recap at the end of the night, but sure, anytime you guys want to see one again, if you just jump into chat and let me know, I'll be happy to. Keep in mind there is a slight delay in chat. So if it's something like a numbered thing or an autograph thing, it's going to be stacked separately, and it'll be super easy for me to find it no matter when you type it in. But if it's something that you've seen go by in the base cards that you want to have a second look at, try to kind of, if you can, when you type it in, say, oh, it was right before the whatever or right after the whatever, so that it'll be easier for me to find it. Gina, you're just saying, come on, Dave Winfield. You know, it's funny that you say that, though, because he's the Padre that I remember quite well also, of course. You always kind of think of certain people, I guess. Although, really, wouldn't I? I was thinking, that's maybe not who I'm thinking of. I'm trying to get a mental picture. I don't think Dave Winfield is who I'm thinking of. I think I was thinking of Tony Gwynn, maybe. Gina never broke baseball until she started breaking here. So she says, quote, the pile of crap I have is your fault. Hey, listen, I hate to tell you this, but if you have not been breaking baseball all these years, you have been missing out. Because baseball, well, first of all, I don't know how much of it you like for yourself versus how much of it you want to resell. But if you're of a mind to be reselling, baseball is way more resale friendly, I think, than any of the other sports. And for good reason, you know. I mean, it was kind of the original trading card. They were baseball cards. Football cards, basketball cards, soccer, and, you know, everything else and its brother came way down the road. Baseball cards were the original collectible. And they're still, of course, you know, some of these can command crazy high prices. I mean, you guys know, out of regular Bowman, the one that I pulled for my customer, that he had an offer just under $100,000 for one card. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's money to be made there. And it's not a pile of crap anyway, Gina. Baseball cards, you can't ever call baseball cards a pile of crap. That's terrible. No. We love our baseball cards. Or I do anyway. I remember them fondly from when I was growing up. So I always look forward. I used to start to say I always look forward to baseball card season, but frankly it's year-round anymore. All the sports are. There's no break in releases for any of them. They all go 12 months of the year these days. And we have a purple parallel for Herrera and the Phillies. That's numbered to 299. But it's pretty amazing when you consider how well the value holds up for what is essentially a piece of cardboard. You know, it's a piece of cardboard with a picture on it. And you think about the fact that for the one from earlier this year, that somebody's willing to pay $100,000 or just under for for cardboard with a piece of, a picture on it, and a signature in that case. But anyway, number to 50, it's the Rangers and Beltray with the gold parallel. But we're all guilty of it, right? I mean, I'm not guilty of buying a $100,000 card because I couldn't afford to buy a $100,000 card, but certainly I am guilty of buying a lot of cards myself, some of which I've probably paid too much for somewhere along the way. But I love them, and I'm glad I did. Harrison Bader is out for the Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals usually hit pretty well in Chrome. Well, in any Topps product, really. You often find, it seems, a lot of Cardinals. There are a lot of A's, a lot of Braves and Yankees. Almost always count on that. Sometimes I just compare the stacks when I sort various things. You just look at each team and how tall is their stack versus another team's stack. And over time, you kind of gain a little bit of an appreciation as to what seems to at least turn up the most. Sometimes you're talking about base cards, versus hits. But anyway, my Cincinnati Reds have a hit. How about that? With Mela. You bought the Rangers, you said, for some reason. You don't know what reason? You don't know why you bought the Rangers? There's nobody in particular you were looking for? I tell you where the Rangers have been hitting outrageously well is in Immaculate. I mean, of course, we hit Willie Calhoun, 3 or 4 times out of that last case of Immaculate, including the one-of-one printing plate that was signed and had the relics embedded in it. But I think we have hit Willie Calhoun in every break of Immaculate Baseball that we've done. At least every one that I remember. And in some breaks hit him multiple times. So if you have a mind to get the Rangers, I should say, if you particularly want Willie Calhoun of the Rangers, Immaculate Baseball is a good place to pick him up. There's certain products you can kind of get a little bit of an understanding after you've opened enough of it that you can say, okay, you're probably pretty likely to pull XYZ out of this product. Because they do start to show up in, not really a pattern exactly, but sort of a pattern. In the fact that, for instance, I think Willie Calhoun has come out of every break of Immaculate that we've done. Oh, Gina, yeah, I guess so. I didn't think about that. Is Pudge on this checklist for Topps Chrome, or are you talking about Immaculate? Tell you the truth, I don't remember who all is on the entire checklist for Topps Chrome. I would have to go back over there and look to tell you for certain if he was on the checklist or not. Yeah, the group break checklist that I told you guys about before is fantastic. I mean, there are other places, there are other websites that do it too, Break Ninja and some others, but Group Break Checklist is the one that I have always used in the past. They're really good about all of the mainstream products. By mainstream, I mean Topps and Panini. They're sometimes a little slower to get to Leaf and some of those things, but I think that's also because Leaf is a little slower to get their checklists out, and they put out their checklists in sort of a weird way, too. But anyway, yes, guys, that's super handy for anyone who might not be familiar with it. It's literally groupbreakchecklist.com, and they take almost any product you would want to know about, and they'll take the hits and break them down by team. So just the autograph and relic hits. It's not going to tell you, you know, numbered stuff and all that. But the autographs and relic stuff, yeah. You're not going to be getting consolation cards for Topps Chrome, Gina. We definitely will find Padres in here for sure. I have never done a full case break or even a half case break of Topps Chrome where a team didn't pull a single card. So you're for sure not going to be stuck off in consolation card land. I promise. You're gonna have some cards for your Padres. There's a Gohara rookie refractor that we saw just a second ago there. Poor Gina. getting your consolation cards, but sometimes, I don't know if Greg's still on here or not. Greg, are you still in chat? Because you know how sometimes if you have several consolation cards coming, is that a short print? No, I guess not. Or sometimes, just if I'm in that kind of mood, you might get more than just one card that might show up, and sometimes it gives you a shot at another hit, right? This is Dylan Peters and the Marlins. It's numbered to 99. It is a green wave. And Greg had a good had some good fortune recently and managed to turn his consolation cards into something good. And I was going to ask him what it was he pulled. All I know is that it was a rookie signature, but I don't know who. But I guess he's not in chat anymore. Josh Bell for the Pirates, the black and white negative parallel. Scott, we don't have anything else breaking tonight. Now, of course, we got tons of stuff breaking throughout the week, but tonight, this is the final break of the night. We already rolled through Elements Football and Clearly Authentic Baseball. We did a case of each of those, and then this is our case of Topps Chrome bringing up the rear tonight. Oh, that's why you ended up with so many teams in Allen and Genter, because you were chasing the rip cards. I mean, that's really that is a great resource for you to use, guys. Those group break checklists. If you haven't ever gone to one of those websites, that's just the one I personally go to the most. But as I said, there are tons of them out there. And you can kind of get an idea sometimes, again, if you're buying more for resale purposes than for a team that you're buying because you like and want to keep the team, it's definitely a great tool because you can see proportionately how many hits each team's going to have in a product. Richard Urena in the blue wave parallel to 150. Nice little autograph hit for the Blue Jays. And it also gives you a really good idea of what types of hits you're going to find in there, too. So, like to Ben Rudd's point, he was chasing a rip card, so he wanted to see, hey, which teams have the most shots at those, and those are the teams he bought. So we have a Bryce Harper rookie debut medallion card. And those are kind of fun. These are case hits, so we find one of those per case pretty much all the time. Jay Allen, I have decided what I'm going to do with the Leaf Greatest, and I'll tell you here in a second. Brian Anderson coming out with a nice little auto for the Miami Marlins tonight. So I don't remember Jay Allen. I don't think you. Oh boy, sorry. Sorry. Kitten was chasing adult cat, and that got kind of dicey right through there. You heard all that. They went about 1,000 miles an hour through all these boxes and wrappers that I've thrown in the floor. So it sounded a little bit like, a break-in. Is somebody kicking the door in? No, it's the cats. Okay, so to answer your question, I have done this before, but I haven't done it in a while. But I am going to do it with these Leaf Greatest. So it's going to work kind of like this. I will look at, and I've got to go break down the checklist myself for each of these Leaf Greatest hits. But I'll basically take each team and come up with what I think the dollar amount should be corresponding for that team and I'll sell it as a fixed price. And I'm going to offer it up through chat first. So probably sometime in the next day or two, what will happen is at the beginning of every break and then again at the very end of the night, I will put up the spreadsheet, show all that, talk about it, sell some spots in it. So we're going to add, I am going to add some gold and silver packs, VIP packs from the National into each of those breaks. So they'll be part of the break itself. So with Leaf Greatest, we're going to have a half case, which is one box of baseball, 2017 Leaf Greatest Baseball. Then we'll have a full case of Leaf Greatest Basketball, and we have a full case of Leaf Greatest Football. And if it works kind of the way that these have worked in the past, again, it's been several months since I've done one this way, but it usually takes anywhere from 2 to 4 days to fill it up, to fill up the break. But it's essentially, it's like a first come, first serve sort of thing. So whenever I first put up that spreadsheet, whatever night that it is, it'll show all the teams, all the prices, and whoever grabs it, you know. If somebody says they want the Lakers, then I'm going to put their name next to the Lakers, and as long as the payment arrives within 12 hours or so of the time they reserve it, then it's theirs. And if the payment doesn't arrive, then of course I would just put that team back available the next night. So that's how that is going to work. The only thing that'll be slightly different is I haven't quite decided yet with the gold and silver packs how I want to do those, because they're multi-sport. So for instance, we could be breaking Greatest Hits Basketball and end up pulling a bunch of football cards out of the gold and silver packs. So I may just open them and then random the hits out of them amongst everybody who's in the break. Or I might just random it off as like the full pack, you know. So I haven't quite decided. Do we want to give just one person wins the gold pack and one person would win a silver pack? Or maybe we open them both, take all the hits out or take all the cards out, and then use random to send them that way. So haven't decided that part of it yet, but otherwise that's how it's going to work. You'd like to buy the Celtics for $13.87. That is very specific, Gina. Very specific. $13.87. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You said $1,387. Okay, sold. You got a deal. You're asking what percentage of the time do I lose money on a break? You know, it just depends. There are so many factors involved in it, and it's really hard to say, and you can have wild swings in pricing. The worst that I've done recently was Spectra Basketball, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. That's the worst product I have had in terms of losing money in, probably a year. Michael Fulmer and the Tigers, black and white negative. And, you know, that's because some of the cases broke so obscenely low, so far below what I paid for them, it was unbelievable. Others would break close to it, but then by the time you factored in eBay and PayPal fees, you go down the rabbit hole. But obviously, you know, the goal would be to not lose money, but sure, sometimes you do, absolutely. And sometimes you lose money just because people don't pay you. Parker Bridwell for the Angels. So, yeah, you know. Oh, Jay Allen, you're familiar with that type of break we're talking about. All right, great. Yeah, I do them that way in chat sometimes. It's just been a while because it's more challenging in the sense that you can't really get a good handle on when the break can be scheduled. So that's the downside of it, because you've really got to kind of guess when you think all the spots are going to be sold, or then you have to stop and go out and email everybody and schedule it that way. So that's one of the reasons I don't really do it that way more. but certainly I have done it that way in the past. Usually when I want to do something out of the ordinary, like this, or we broke a bunch of white sparkle basketball packs back earlier in the year, and we were breaking those by the packs, and we did those in chat. Tanner Scott, numbered to 250, purple parallel for the Orioles. So definitely we've had plenty of experience doing that. And sometimes I do it that way just because I want to break multiple cases of something. We did that with basketball back in the winter, which I'm thinking is the last time that I ran one that way. Because I broke I don't even remember, 2 or 3 cases of certified basketball. There's an Ohtani just base card all together. And I didn't want to run that on eBay because sometimes those multi-case breaks and stuff like that, it's too risky to run one of those on eBay. You know, you get an off night and the next thing you know, you're out like $2,000 or something. So when I do something out of the ordinary, we often will do it by way of chat. It's just that it takes a little bit longer to sell through everything. And at some point, if it's been a really long time, and to me, a really long time would be like 4 or 5 days since we started and we still haven't gotten them all sold, then sometimes I'll take the extra teams and put them up on eBay and finish it out that way. Gina, you said no Padres or Royals and you're begging for a base card. We are bound to have seen some Padres or Royals go by here, at least in a base card. We're bound to have had some. I'm going to start watching for them now. I'm going to start peeling my eyes for them, and I guarantee you there are some in there. So when we find them, I'm gonna have to share them with you so that you know we're not going to leave you empty-handed. I promise we're not. I promise. But I know definitely there are people who, I mean, and I'm among them. I for sure have lost money on breaks plenty of times. And sometimes it's a lot of money. Like Spectra was a lot of money that I lost on, not just on one break, but I think I had 5 or 6 cases of that, and I've lost money on every single one of them. But there are definitely some people who probably don't ever lose money, but I don't know too many of them. Because if nothing else, it'll get you when people don't pay. But I was conversing back and forth through messages, eBay messages earlier today with someone who said that they were having trouble with some products and losing some money on some stuff, and they wondered how I was doing with the same product. So there's really no rhyme or reason to it. On any given night, something can sell for one price, and the next night or 2 nights later, it might sell for 500 more or 500 less. With the only variable, of course, being the night of the week. It's not for the faint of heart breaking, I should say. But I do get messages all the time, very regularly. At least every month I get 1 or 2 of somebody who will email me and ask me, you know, how do you get started doing a break, and where do you buy things, and how do you know what to buy, and, you know, they ask you all that stuff. And some stuff, of course, I'm willing to share and whatever, and other stuff were trade secrets, and I'm not going to tell, but there are definitely people jumping in and out of it all the time. All right, Gina, we need to find your Padres and your Royals, okay? So I'm going to try to pay attention, because you know I often don't really pay that much attention to what specific player is on a base card as we go by. So now I'm going to have to find a Padre and a Royal for you. And we have a hit for the San Francisco Giants. And it's Ryder Jones, which might very well be the only Ryder Jones I've pulled this year. It's the only one I remember pulling anyway. I already forgot who I was looking for you again. Padre and Royal. The Royals, okay. See how quickly my mind goes? Oh, Dune. Oh, yeah, Dune. You've got another hit coming your way, man. You're doing all right. You're having some good luck then tonight. The Tampa Bay Rays to 75 with a blue wave. Parallel, of course. You guys know. You know it's a parallel when you see that go by. And now I'm back to looking for a Royal or a Padre. See, I'm going to try to, I'm going to LeVar Ball this for you, and I'm going to speak it into existence. How about that? How you feeling about that? That's what we're going to do. We're going to make it happen. Oh, it's hard to focus on every card that's coming out. I'm already finding, on the base cards, I already find my mind just starts wandering. Oh, no, that's terrible. That's like a little ADD kicking in right there. Yeah, I don't usually pay that much attention to the base cards, who each player is. Ooh, that's kind of weird. That's to 150, and it's Garrett Cooper for the Miami Marlins. And I know, sitting on your side of it, you're thinking, how could you not pay attention to every player on every card? But I'm telling you, if you were on my side of it, you would... Ah, haha, see? There's a Royal, Salvador Perez. Ah, I almost let him get by, but I saw him. I caught him. But yeah, it's really kind of weird to stop and look at every player on the card as it goes by. For me, anyway. You just opened, Colby, you just opened a hobby box and both your autographs were Ryder Jones. What? Well, that's, who wants them both out of the same box to be the same player? Unless they're Ohtani, right? Well, that's kind of crazy. They didn't do you very good on that, did they? Ryan McMahon for the Colorado Rockies with a signature hit. All right, I still need to conjure up a Padre, right? We still need a Padre here to make Gina feel like she's making some progress. And, of course, you notice we are going slower. That's because I'm having a hard time looking at all the players while sorting. This is numbered to 25. It's Ahmed Rosario for the Mets. I know. I realize it's counterintuitive, but I'm just saying. That's how it works in my brain. You saw what symbol in that box? Oh, did I let it? Oh, a San Diego. Did I let a Padre go by that I didn't see? Well, I might have. I told you my mind kept kind of wandering there. I would realize after about 10 seconds I was back to not paying attention to every player again. have to reset my focus. So there might have been then. Okay, there might have been a Padre in that last box for you, Gina. That's what Benred's saying anyway, so we're gonna see. You're on a roll. Well, we're going to find something for you. Well, we already found, we at least know that you have a Royal because I saw Salvador Perez. Although you're going to have more than just one, but at least you know you have a Royal. But we need to find you an autograph or something in here, don't we, Gina? Make it a little more official. So we need to get our mojo working on finding that for you. And Benred, who are we working on for you again? Remind me again, what teams, who, not just Benred, everybody. Remind me, everybody, who you're looking for so we can work the mojo for those of you who are hanging out here in chat tonight. This is the Mets, and it is the black and white negative Jacob deGrom. We have a hit for the Braves. That would be A.J. Minter. A.J. Minter. I don't know a whole lot about A.J. Minter, so that may or may not be a good hit, but I do know a little about this man. And that is a little rookie refractor hit for the Yankees with Torres, Gleyber Torres. And of course, there's a 35th anniversary of Mike Trout. So I had all kinds of sporting opportunities tonight, and none of them panned out for me. I was so bummed. So the Steelers were playing the Eagles in preseason. Couldn't get the game in my market. Okay, no problem. Also have my University of Kentucky Wildcats playing some preseason games in the Bahamas. They played last night too, and guess what? Dummy was working and forgot to watch the game that came on at 7 p.m. Yep, that'd be me. So I didn't see any of it last night. So tonight, oh yeah, I'm not going to forget tonight, right? I get the television on. I've got a little bit of work to do, but I can hear it. And then I go in thinking, now I can sit and watch for maybe half an hour while I eat my dinner. I can just watch it. You want to know what happened? The power went out at the place they were playing in the Bahamas. So the whole time that I have allotted to try and watch part of the game, which was only 30 minutes anyway, they were back in the studio, these people just talking, because they had, no way to televise it with no power. And then the people in the studio, I went back to work, just had the volume on, and I thought, well, maybe if it comes back on, I can steal away and watch like 5 minutes of it uninterrupted. No, they came back and said, well, they still didn't get the power on, so yeah, the rest of the game is not going to be televised. We're just going to stay here in the studio. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Man, I had 2 good sporting events I wanted to watch tonight. I didn't get to see either one of them. It was so sad. Gina, the only thing you know about A.J. Minter is that he is not a Padre. Well, I that much I knew, but that's about all I know about him. Not very familiar with him. I mean, obviously I've heard his name and that sort of thing, but as in, I haven't seen him play. I don't really have an opinion on his abilities or his skill set because I've never seen him play. A Milwaukee Brewer. This might be Ben Rudd. Am I right? I think so. It's Brandon Woodruff, numbered to 499. Little rookie refractor autograph coming out for the Brewers. And I guess that was first out for this box, right? So we should still have one more to find in here somewhere along the way. One would hope. Thought that was a refractor, but it's not. It's the one under it. It was Tim Anderson. Kind of shining away there. I thought it was the other card. Oh, Aaron Judge going by. You know, it took me several breaks this year to get out of the habit of every time I saw Aaron Judge, thinking, whoops, we need to stop because that's the big player. It's always such a hard transition after their rookie year if they were really hot, because you're just so used to every time you see them in a product stopping on them. All right, we're at the halfway point. 6 boxes down, 6 boxes to go. SNS says, who do I see going to the World Series? Well, you have to assume that the Astros, I don't know. I don't think the Astros are going to win again. I don't think they're going to repeat, but you have to think the Astros have got a shot to get there. I mean, you have to look at the Dodgers again. I mean, it's kind of the usual players, I think. The Red Sox, I don't really see much that looks out of the ordinary in terms of anybody making a gigantic leap that we're not expecting. I mean, certainly there have been teams that have played better than we thought they were going to play this year. But I don't know that I really see anybody leapfrogging over our regulars. You said that it is not going to be the Cubs, huh? That was very definitive. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Cubs have been kind of, I guess, whatever, up and down a little. You lose a little faith in the Cubs when they get beat up by the Reds, okay? And the Reds are my team, but I can still admit that it's not probably a good sign for the other team to get swept by the Reds. So that somewhat tarnishes my belief in the Cubs just a little bit. So I don't really know. But I mean, of course, you guys know I'm a Dodgers fan a little bit too, in addition to the Reds. Although, frankly, I like a lot of baseball teams. But I did live in Southern Cal for a while. And so I have a bit of an affinity for the Dodgers as well. So I would be happy if they got back there, but I don't know if they're going to. I mean, I think you've got to assume that the Yankees are putting together a nice season. So I don't think you count the Yankees out by any stretch. And I know this is like terrible to probably half the people, but I also like the Yankees a little bit. And I do realize the Yankees are a love them or hate them kind of team. And there's a lot of people that hate the Yankees. I don't hate them. I mean, I don't love them like they're my favorite team in the world, but I definitely don't hate them. And I think they're fun to watch them play, so we'll see. But, you know, so again, Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox. I don't really know, maybe the Cubs, but I don't really know about that. Astros. Kind of the usual suspects. I mean, I just don't think there have been enough shakeups, even with the trades and things that have happened. I don't think there's been enough change in the landscape to take me out of that, off that track. Anyway, nobody's busting out saying, hey, look at me, I'm going to make it to the World Series. So, not yet, anyway. Rendon to 99 for the Nationals. Now, there are definitely teams that I can tell you for sure won't make it to the World Series, which is pretty much most of them, including my Reds. I mean, there's really just not very much parity these days, it doesn't seem. There's a handful of teams, the same way in basketball. There is a handful of teams that you can look at before the season even starts and say, these are the ones that are likely to get to the playoffs and or the World Series. And it will turn out to be those teams. And then nobody else really comes in and upsets the apple cart very often. This is numbered to 299. Noah Syndergaard, purple parallel for the Mets. You know, that was my whole thing with the NBA Finals this year. And you guys heard me talk about it a bunch. Like, I just did not want to see that game again. I have already seen that. Already seen that finals. I didn't want to see Cleveland and Golden State again. So in general, I think that Major League Baseball and the NBA can both use a little more parity. I think NFL does the best job of having a reasonable number of competitive teams. Of course, you guys saw we had a redemption come out there a second ago. We'll take another look at it in a minute. This is Lucas Sims and the Braves. Normally, if the redemptions come out face down, I hold them till the end of the break because I like to leave that little extra bit of suspense. But tonight it came out face up, so we'll grab it here in a second anyway. But first, we have a nice little short print with Ahmed Rosario and the Mets. So, rookie refractor short print. I like it. I like that hit for you if you have the Mets tonight. Nothing to sneeze at there. And our redemption is Walker Buehler. Speaking of the Dodgers. Oh, SNS, you said you think it's going to be the Dodgers next year, huh? Oh, what did you say? I missed what you said, Benrod. You said when your Brewers are up there with them this late in the season, you're not a great team. Well, you know, kind of like what I said about my Reds, right? Yeah. So you think the Dodgers aren't going to be there till next year, and you may very well be right about that. I mean, they've obviously had some injuries and some things they've got to work on. They've got a nice young group, a nice young core, and I don't know that they get there this year. They might. I mean, honestly, I thought last year was their better chance to get there, and they didn't. So you kind of never know. But I like their team, and they're young enough that I think they're going to have plenty of chances in the years ahead if they don't get there this year. And you think it's going to be Boston this year. Oh, your grandma liked the Yankees. That's cool. You said don't go down the road about the Orioles. Well, listen, here's the thing about the Orioles, though. So, yes, I mean, your good players are kind of gone now, traded away. But that just means you're getting ready to go into what will hopefully be a successful rebuild. And if they do the rebuild correctly, you're going to have a few seasons of pain, but then you're going to come out on the other side and it will be worth it. That's as long as they don't do it the way my Reds have done it, which is half rebuild it and then just sort of stop and trade everyone away again. And then rinse and repeat so that you stay in the same cycle for like half a decade. But I do have some encouragement in the fact that the Reds executives said a few months ago that they were planning to increase payroll for next season. So that was a positive sign. And they didn't trade Scooter Gennett, which also was a positive sign, that because he obviously was a marketable trade piece that in years past they would have just shipped off. So the fact that they kept him, I think, gives me a little bit of hope that maybe we're finally going to actually try to rebuild. And we've got a decent farm system, you know, actually a pretty good farm system right now, which we should have because we've traded away every player worth anything for years. So your Orioles, yes, not so good this year, but hope on the horizon, right? Yeah, it's just, you know, you never know. I mean, you say it's all about the money. It definitely, I'm sure, is to a certain extent about the money, but I just don't, I don't know. The game's just so different now than it used to be. I mean, in the past, you wouldn't have things that go on the way they do now, where you have these extensive, basically tear down and rebuilds. Wouldn't have worked like that many years ago. You might have some growing pains and some things you would work on, but it wouldn't be this multi-year, you know, craziness like we sometimes have now. The New York Mets, Tomas Nido, gold parallel 250. So, I don't know. My whole thing is I would just like to see all of the teams more competitive across the board so that we're not just every year saying it's the handful of maybe 5 or 6 teams that have the ability to potentially get to the playoffs or get to the World Series. I'd rather things be a bit more competitive. Lucas Giolito, black and white, negative for the White Sox. You said, do I think I'll have Leaf Flash tomorrow? I don't think it's going to show up tomorrow. I mean, of course, we're still doing the break is already listed on eBay, so the break is going to run, and however it settles out will be the people who will have the spots. But I will have to most likely reschedule the break itself because I've seen no tracking. And I called my rep today and said, have you seen anything about the drop ship or the tracking? He said no. And I said, what have you heard? And of course, they still had just been given the same release date of tomorrow. So he had his manager call Leaf and ask them what day I could expect to receive it, because they drop ship it to me from Leaf, this particular distributor. They don't get it there first and then send it to me. They have Leaf send it directly to me. And the guy at Leaf just said soon. That's the only thing he would tell him, is soon. So I don't know what that means. This is to 299 Louis Castillo and the Reds and purple parallel. So, I mean, soon could be Saturday. Soon could be Monday. I mean, I really don't know. That's literally all the information that they gave him. So the breaks, I guess, are just going to stay there, and they will end as normal. And then we'll schedule the break whatever day I have tracking to tell me what day it's going to arrive. Obviously, we'll break it the day it arrives. We'll probably break it earlier that evening ahead of anything that would normally be scheduled to break that night. Max Fried and the Braves is our autograph hit. That'll be the same thing for the Saturday break unless I get lucky and it shows up on Saturday. It would be the exact same thing with the Saturday break because they were both already listed before my rep said, oh, hey, by the way, I haven't seen the dropship info, the tracking info yet. So, at least, I do always put that in the description on the lease stuff that it's always subject to be moved because they're really kind of bad, honestly, about this sort of thing. They announce a date and then they just don't they change it a day or two before and don't really tell you when it's going to show up, and then it just shows up. So I wish that they would do it better, but they don't. But the good news is this: if you are in it, we'll break, when it does show up, we'll break both cases back to back. So because break 1 and break 2, one of them ends on Friday night, the other ends on Saturday night. We'll just turn around and break them both whatever day the product arrives. But thank goodness he caught me before I had more listed, because, normally with Leaf, I'll break 3, 4, 5 cases right in a row. So thank goodness at least I only had 2 of the breaks listed by the time I found out. And, they'll charge you a fee if you go in and try to end them. So if I went in and ended them all, that would, first of all, I'd be ending 64 auctions, and then you got to factor that times whatever the fee is, and that adds up to a decent amount of money, all things considered. So we're just gonna let it ride. Hope it shows up soon. There's not a lot coming out next week. I think Wednesday is unparalleled football. And Friday of next week, actually, not tomorrow, Friday, a week from tomorrow, is going to be pretty cool because that, I think, is the release date for Crown Royal basketball. Which I'm a big Crown Royal fan. I always liked that brand in football. Then they took it a couple of years ago and made it, I guess 2015 is the last year they made it as hobby. In 2016 and 2017, they made it a retail-only product and, changed the configuration and stuff, so wasn't nearly as good. And I guess we're probably still not getting Crown Royal football back, but they're taking the Crown Royal brand to basketball this year. And I'm looking forward to that because I like that brand itself. Flash is going to be similar, right, to like Valiant and all those sort of things, except it doesn't have, let me think about this. I've got to think about which one's which. Valiant is the one, didn't we have a graded card in Valiant, or was that, oh, I can't even remember. I think we did, right? We had one graded card and the rest not graded in Valiant. Flash won't have any graded cards, but we'll have, once again, the rookies for this year's rookie class for football will be sprinkled in throughout there. The Pirates have an autograph. The Pirates have Jordan Luplow. So, yes, our rookies, and then we'll have some Hall of Famers mixed in there. And I don't know exactly who all the Hall of Famers are that are mixed in. I know that Terry Bradshaw is one of them because he's on the marketing materials. But I don't know who else. I think I read, though, oddly enough, that Johnny Manziel, I think, is one of them. And some of the other Heisman Trophy winners, maybe, might be mixed in there. Now, I don't know which other Heisman Trophy winners, but I think I remember reading that. And it's the first product that Leafs had that's not, I mean, their stuff is usually draft class. So it's typically incoming rookies, or in the case of baseball, you know, you might have some minor leaguers and stuff in there as well. So this is kind of a first for them, mixing in some Hall of Famers and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. That is numbered to 25 for the Red Sox. Nice little Rafael Devers with the orange parallel. It's a nice hit. So I do think it's going to be cool. I mean, all the Leaf stuff is nice because all the cards come out of the box. They're already in sleeves and top loaders, so they usually come out in good condition. They're all on-card autographs. You don't have stickers. Most of the stuff's pretty low numbered. The checklist is very reasonable, so you can hit the big names without as much difficulty. Adrian Sanchez for the Nationals. So I'm a fan of the Leaf stuff in general, as you guys all know, but I just like the way they do their products. Because, you know, you look at some of the other stuff and you think about, okay, I'm trying to hit, I was looking at the back of that, sorry. If you're trying to hit Baker Mayfield, you know, and how much do you have to open of, for instance, elements before you're going to find the Baker Mayfield. Whereas in Leaf, you know, you're probably going to find Baker Mayfield sometimes in every case. At least probably you're going to pull him once out of every couple of cases. Because it's a much more condensed checklist. So I'm a fan of their stuff, and I'm really looking forward to Flash, and I'm kind of bummed that I don't guess it's coming tomorrow unless it just suddenly shows up, which is possible, but not likely, but possible. Because last week my stuff just showed up. My rep called me and said, I think your Leaf stuff is going to go out, but I haven't, I haven't gotten the information yet, so I think you'll probably get it on Friday. I don't think you're going to get it before Friday. I said, okay. And this was, like, I guess Wednesday morning or something. And so all my stuff comes Wednesday, and I'm like, I've got all these extra boxes. What is all this extra stuff? I open it up. Oh, it's all my Leaf stuff. So I call him up. I said, man, all my Leaf stuff came today. I got it here. It's here right now. He goes, you're kidding me. He said, we just got the tracking. So normally they would send them that way in advance. He goes, I didn't think you were going to get it till Friday. I thought they just shipped it today. I said, no, I got it today. So there's always the remote possibility that it really does still show up tomorrow, but I don't think that's a super strong possibility. Finrod, you said too many elements. Do you mean that the checklist is too big? That you don't like the fact that there are so many players on the checklist, or what do you mean by too many elements? I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking you're talking about the checklist, but I'm not 100% sure. The product itself I like with elements. I love the metal cards. In fact, I would be happy if we didn't even have the cardboard one that has the entrapped metal. I wouldn't even have to have that. I'd be happy if it was an entire product with nothing but metal cards. Oh, right. When you're talking about like what it takes to hit like Baker Mayfield. Oh, yes, for sure. I mean, you're going to open probably 10 cases of elements to hit that Baker Mayfield. You might open 1 or 2 of Leaf to hit the same Baker Mayfield. Actually, most of the quarterbacks came out quite regularly out of the other Leaf Draft products. Not all of them, but the majority of them. So I would assume that it will be a similar situation. Of course, I can't guarantee that because I haven't seen the checklist, but that would be my assumption. Yeah, Peyton Manning, we have pulled, because didn't we pulled the Peyton Manning nice autograph for the Broncos out of Elements a couple cases back, a case or two back, I want to say. And then, of course, tonight we got the nice low-numbered Peyton Manning for the Colts. So we've pulled some excellent stuff out of Elements, but yeah, Baker Mayfield has been hard to hit. Josh Allen has come out more than Baker has out of that particular product. But then you never know. Sometimes you get on a run and, you know, you might then find him in the next 3 cases that you open. It's just so hit or miss. This is going to be a nice low number for the Cleveland Indians. It's Francisco Mejia. Red Wave should be to 5, and it is number 1 of 5. So Cleveland Indians, I know we got traded away from you, but that's a nice hit for you regardless. And did we look at Suarez already? We did, I believe, but he's a refractor, so we'll stack him in the other spot anyway. Not that it necessarily matters. It just makes it easier if somebody wants to do a callback look at something. If I try to keep the refractors stacked somewhat separately, then it makes it a little easier if somebody says, hey, I want to take another look at XYZ, or ABC, if you will. I believe that Victor Robles is a short print. Yeah, it is. Nationals, you have a nice Victor Robles rookie refractor short print. That might actually be, is that an SSP? That might be an SSP. Do I don't have the, I can't remember all the numbers to tell you for sure if that's standard, short print, or SSP. But anyway, it's definitely SP, maybe SSP. And if you have the Nationals, it was a good hit for you. Guess we'll find out how good a hit when we get him called up next year. That's always the weird thing about baseball, though, right? I mean, we end up, they projected, of course, Victor would come up first, and he would have if he hadn't been injured. So we've got Victor's cards all throughout the year, and really it was Juan Soto that got called up, who's just burning up the base path. For the Cubbies, Wilson Contreras, black and white negative. And we've had no Juan Soto cards except in Bowman. I would assume that we're going to have him in Series 2. You never know until you see the checklist, but that would be my assumption, that Series 2 and anything later than that in the year should probably have Juan Soto in it. So Orca. rookie autograph purple refractor. What did I do with our other redemption, by the way? Oh, I stacked it in with the regulars, didn't I? We need to take that out. Because we'll have to go checklist verify them, because you know how I am. I go do that every time. Little Joey Votto. And we have a hit coming for the Rays. Tampa Bay Rays hit with Hunter Wood. Well, goodness, everything is trying to stick to the card in front of it, or behind it, as the case may be. Sorry about that, guys. There's a Clint Frazier rookie refractor. Little Alex Reyes X-Fractor. 2 boxes left. 2 boxes left. 10 down, 2 to go. Yeah, I might not quite make my 2 hours tonight. I thought we would probably finish in about 2 hours tonight, even though I knew I had scheduled kind of heavy. I thought we'd finish by around midnight, but it looks like I might miss it. Because I think it's 3 minutes till midnight right now, so I'd say I'm definitely going to miss it. I don't believe there's much could, might, or should. I think we're really going to go past midnight tonight. Well, midnight Eastern. I realize some are in different time zones, so it's not quite as late for you if you're in a different time zone. It always seems like when I'm listing something, it always seems like, oh yeah, I can definitely get that done in an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then when you do it, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I might have been a little optimistic on that. Let's stop and look at what we have, and then we'll open up a few more packs. There's a little Mike Trout 35th anniversary refractor that went by, followed by a Justin Turner 35th anniversary. Another hit for the Pirates, Trevor Williams. So that's nice to see come out, because the Pirates are not as heavy on this checklist as some other teams are. So it's always good when you pull some hits for some of the teams that aren't as heavily populated. I tried to find some more immaculate collegiate football, but so far I haven't had any luck with that. I was able to find everything else I wanted this week except for that. So I was kind of surprised I was able to find more noir basketball. That worked out really well. Well, I've got wrappers trying to stick to me and everything. The wrappers are going crazy. Probably because there's a really large pile of them over here. We opened 3 cases worth of stuff, so the pile of wrappers and boxes is quite large at this moment in time. So a little Reese Hoskins rookie refractor. Phillies are another team I like a little bit. I like the Pirates a little bit too. Although the Pirates have traded away a lot of the guys that I liked the most. And some of them, you know, like Andrew McCutchen, right? I mean, how many years was Kutch there just practically begging them to invest some money? And then he gets traded to San Francisco, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden, here go the Pirates investing some money. Numbered to 25, we have a nice Nick Williams orange parallel for the Phillies. Speaking of... That's got to be so frustrating, though, if you're the player that's there for years and years and years, and they won't invest anything, and you just, you know, gets worse and worse and worse. You finally leave, and then they start spending money. Santander, the Orioles, with a rookie autograph. We have got one box left. That's right. It is last box mojo time. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and get what we're going to be recapping and verifying. Since we don't have to use that space up there for a box anymore, we're going to get those set up there now. Yeah, see, I always know if I go past midnight because my iPad screen changes. I don't know if any of you guys use the blue light settings on there, you know, where you can set it for so that the filter comes on and the blue light goes out. Supposedly, if you get exposed to too much, quote, blue light, it can make it hard to sleep and yada, yada, yada. So I always have my iPad set to those settings to filter out the, quote, blue light after a certain time of night. So it just changed over there a minute or so ago, so I know we've gone past midnight because the filter's on. But there are a few of you who have hanging around here to the end, which I appreciate. Okay, let's take a look at what we've got going here tonight. Whoops, I meant to stack the Ohtani base separately, although I think I probably stacked some of his other base in there, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. The Cardinals with Ozuna, purple to 299. I started to say the Louisville Cardinals. I caught myself, but I'm just telling you, I almost said the Louisville Cardinals. Which is, of course, you know, just up the road from me. Not too far away. Brewers hit again. Jacob Barnes. I believe we already had maybe a Jacob Barnes autograph. I know we've definitely had another Brewers autograph or two. I think one of them was Jacob Barnes. But, of course, we'll find out shortly when we get to our recap. Maikel Franco. That's the black and white negative for the Phillies. And there's a little Mike Trout. All right, we're closing in on it. I haven't decided how we're going to break top chrome jumbo yet. We may go back to doing some half cases when we get to that. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. Because again, it's a massive amount of cards. Which aren't so bad for the breaking itself. I mean, yes, it takes a while, but it's not that bad. But the sorting, oh, the sorting takes forever. Oh, somebody just hit, on another break, somebody just hit a Trout 35th anniversary autograph, number 3 of 5. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a very solid hit. Probably the highest value Mike Trouts I pulled were out of Inception last year. And I pulled a bunch of Mike Trout out of that, like a ridiculous amount of autograph patches numbered 50 or below. In fact, we pulled 2 of them out of one case. Those were quite plentiful for me last year. And then I pulled out of, believe it or not, out of, I think it was Heritage High Number. We pulled a Mike Trout red ink out of, I'm pretty sure it was Heritage High Number. So I remember being like, oh, wow, I was not expecting that. Could have been Archives, but I don't think so. I think it was High Number. So those are probably the most, those are the highest dollar Mike Trouts that I've pulled recently anyway. But yeah, the 35th anniversary parallel numbered to 5 autograph, that is definitely a nice hit for somebody for sure. Anytime you pull Mike Trout, it's just money, you know. And we went through a little phase there for a while when we were opening a lot of Finest from 16, I think it was, 2016 Finest. There was a lot of Ichiro I kept pulling out of that. And sometimes you just find one guy in a product a lot for some reason or another. We pulled a lot of Aaron Judge last year out of Finest, too. I definitely think some products are stacked more than others with certain players. Maybe they're not, but it just seems like it. It seems like that's the pattern that you observe when you go through. But then you do get the pop-up surprise that you're not expecting, like a Mike Trout red ink or something. So our final autograph hit of the night is headed to the San Francisco Giants, and it is a gold wave parallel numbered to 50 of Miguel Gomez, which might be Dune, right? Is that you, Dune? If it is, you came back just in time to see your last hit come out there. Now, we do have, before we recap, a couple of things to go verify there on our checklist. So let's go get that squared away. Let's get me and you both on the right page. Now I am. Let me make sure I got you with me. I do have you with me. That's excellent. Okay, so we are looking for, what's our card set here? Rookie autograph. All right. I'm in the Clearly Authentic checklist. I'm not going to find it there, am I? That might make life a little harder, wouldn't it? Let's try this one more time. We were using Clearly Authentic a while ago, but it certainly wasn't going to help us any here. All right, so rookie autographs. Who are we looking for again? Walker Buehler, who of course is a Dodger. Where are you, Walker? There he is. And then our Mike Soroka, which of course is a Brave. And where is he? There he is. So there's our Braves. And there's our Dodgers. And we are all happily verified now. And we're going to recap everything. After I do the recap, I will one last time put up the spreadsheet information of anticipated shipping dates. We'll also put up the sheet again that shows what's coming up in the days ahead, just in case anybody missed it earlier, or more likely if you're watching the tape delay and you've just scrolled to the recap. So we have a redemption here that'll be a purple refractor parallel for the Braves with Mike Soroka. And then we have a Walker Buehler rookie autograph redemption for the Dodgers. Our case hit relic is Bryce Harper and the Nationals. And that's the rookie debut medallion card. Those are one per case, of course. We've got several black and white negative parallels. Phillies, Cubs, the White Sox, the Mets, the Tigers, and the Pirates. And we have a bunch of numbered parallels coming up right here. And again, guys, I'm not going to flip all these over to the back again. That is, well, I'll flip over the ones to 25. We've got a pair of them, but the rest of them we won't. Victor Robles is not numbered, but he is a short print. We'll flip over Mejia. He's to 5. And then Devers was also to 25. So lots of good color in here tonight. An Ahmed Rosario short print. And another Ahmed Rosario, that is to 25. And then, of course, our blues, our greens, Beltre was 250 to 99 on the Greg Allen, and Nolan Arenado to 50. So we really did have a lot of good color in here tonight. I am happy about that. Our signature hits, San Francisco Giants, gold wave to 50 with Gomez. The Brewers hit with Jacob Barnes. The Orioles, Santander. The Pirates, Williams. The Rays with Wood. The Nats with Sanchez. Pirates again with Luplow. Max Fried comes out for the Braves. And then we have a gold parallel for the Mets with Tomas Nido to 50. The Braves have a Lucas Sims. Anthony Rendon's in the wrong stack, but he is to 99. He was just supposed to be in the stack that wasn't signed, that's all. Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers, that will be to 499. AJ Minter and the Braves, Ryan McMahon and the Rockies. And there is Ryder Jones for the San Francisco Giants. The Orioles hit with Tanner Scott to 250. Parker Bridwell for the Angels, Brian Anderson for the Marlins, Richard Urena for the Blue Jays to 150. Mella for the Reds, Harrison Bader for the Cardinals. The Giants hit with Stratton, and the Brewers hit with another Jacob Barnes, that one to 499. So that is it for the break itself tonight. It was a long one tonight, so thank you again, guys and gals, for hanging in there while we went through all of that. It was a lot, but hopefully worth it. We'll take a look one more time here at our spreadsheet information. So once again, projecting a Tuesday shipping date for everything we open tonight, and if I can get it out faster than Tuesday, you know I will. I always do my best, but I think we're probably pretty close on target these days. So again, anticipating Tuesday. The breaks coming up in the days ahead. Tomorrow night is a Game Day Great single autograph football jersey. It's the first time we've done a single one in a while. And then, of course, you guys know the deal with Flash Football. If it shows up, we're going to open it tomorrow. If it doesn't show up, the break will run as normal. But we will, as far as being scheduled on eBay, because it's already there, but we'll reschedule the night and time if the product doesn't show up tomorrow, which increasingly looks like it may not. Certified football full case tomorrow night as well. On Saturday, we'll open another half case of our Leaf autographed jerseys. You know the deal with Flash. We'll open a full case of Noir basketball. That's an excellent product. And a third of a case of Donruss football. On Sunday, note that we are starting at 9:30 instead of 10. It will be a full case of Elements football, a full case of Archive Signature Series Active Player Edition, and a half case of Allen and Genter. On Monday, a full case of Immaculate Baseball, a half case of Gold Standard Football, which will be the last of the Gold Standard Football. On Monday night, we will also open another case of Certified, and that will be the last of the Certified. On Tuesday, we'll open an autographed New Era baseball cap, an autographed Gold Rush baseball jersey, a third case of Clearly Authentic baseball, and another half case of Leaf autographed jerseys, and a third case of Donruss football. Wednesday, of course, will be new release day. We'll probably open Unparalleled and maybe some more Clearly Authentic or something like that. So we'll probably be back into Topps Chrome about this time next week. Roughly Thursday of next week, we'll start busting into Chrome baseball again, and it will be the jumbo cases when we start back on it. So, G, you are out of here tonight. Hey, thank you for hanging in, and thanks for joining the break tonight. I appreciate it, and I'm glad to have you here. So everyone, I am going to jump off of here. I've got a lot of stuff to get here in top loaders and get ready to go. So I am out for this evening. I'll be back at it tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll see some or all of you again. Until then, take care. Have a great day tomorrow, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.